Allow me to disappear. Huh. It's Comics and Shots, a completely improvised, semi-comedic musing by Howard Stern's Mick the Nerd, aka YouTube and TikTok's Mick the Man, aka Mick the Maverick, aka a guy who's still not sure if he should change his YouTube and TikTok names to straight up Mick the Maverick, because there's already a musician called Mick Man. He's never sued me about it. I've never gotten any copyright strikes from him, so I guess I can keep calling myself Mick the Man. And I just like also being Mick the Maverick. It's a cool name, but I don't know. It's a whole thing. Today's double subjects: Dark Crisis, Young Justice, and Absolute DC. I am not sure why I want to talk about both of these in one video, but we'll get to a possible combination later. Yeah, Dark Crisis, Young Justice. For anyone who read that, yeah, I'm sorry I read it too. That was a weird one. It had good ideas in it, good concepts. Like, at the very end, we addressed why Tim got with, Cassie Sandsmark, because it wasn't that he was in love with her, it's that he missed Connor. That's something. That was something. So that was interesting. You got Connor feeling the angst about being forgotten. Trying to think of anything else positive about that book. Not much. So if you were a fan of Sissy King Jones, yeah, you did not like this book. I'm not even going to say you probably didn't like this book if you read it. You didn't like this book. Because, dear God, all she did was fucking whine the entire 6 issues for the most part. And, also, Megan Fitzmartin, writer of the book, writer of Robin, Tim Drake, I don't want to call you out, but I don't think you read that much Young Justice, because in the book, Sissy says the reason she quit Young Justice was, I just didn't want to be in the shadow of 3 entitled boys. No, that's not why she left at all. I mean, at that point, Tim Drake wasn't even Batman's adoptive son. His dad was still alive at the time. And Connor was everything but entitled. I mean, Superman barely even saw him as a person back then. It really made Clark seem really problematic. Also, it's still weird to me that he calls Connor his brother. Connor's his son. Come on now. Technically call him brother because they have the same memories, but yeah, it's still weird. Ugh. Yeah, and anyone who read the book, it's been forever since I read it. It's either Sissy killed someone or almost killed someone, and the pressure of doing something that dangerous showed to her that she's not right for this, and decided to retire from superheroism. And it made sense. Yeah, you shouldn't be handling a weapon if you might kill someone. Yeah, that made sense. And they don't fucking address that in Dark Crisis Young Justice at all. And here's what really bugs me about that. Here's what we all thought was what happened. Beginning of the story, everybody's mourning the not deaths of the Justice League. And Cassie, Wonder Girl, God, it's weird that she's still calling herself Wonder Girl too. She's got to be 20 at this point. She gets annoyed with Bart, Tim, and Connor, and then just wishes that they would all leave. And, what I thought was, they were warped to a different world by the bad guy of the book, and she was warped to a world that was perfect for her. A different world, and that would explain why Sissy was a total pain in the ass the entire miniseries. And also, got her reason for quitting superheroing wrong. That wasn't Sissy, but Yeah, either editorial messed with that, or I apparently could think of a better logical reason for this than Megan Fitzmartin. Once again, Megan, sorry if you're a nice person, but bad. Also, for you Empress fans, she's a background villain in this for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. Why did you do that? People, why? The way she was written out of the comics was so weird, man. Her parents turn into babies, and then she has to raise her baby parents, apparently. The fuck? God damn it. Ugh. Why? It's bad enough. It's worse. The worst part is she's literally the only black person on Young Justice, and it's gonna be the thing to bring her back, but no, we had to put in all sorts of confusing meta commentary about racism and toxic fandoms. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't do that, but also make a proper follow-up to Young Justice. Were there problematic elements with the original Young Justice series? Of course they were. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There were some offensive things here and there, but the good outweighed the bad, in my opinion. And also, why would you make a Young Justice book, a series that has a genuine following with the DC Comics fandom community, if it was just going to be a weird, semi-mean-spirited meta commentary? It's when they go there, they fight the Mighty Endowed. It's like, oh god, I'm so embarrassed that we ever fought her. It's like, yeah, I get it. It was a dumb joke. Okay, whatever. But yeah. I kind of got the feeling that she only read the first couple issues of Young Justice. I read it on and off when I was a kid. I'm an adult, yeah, but even I know a lot of what she was doing in that book didn't make sense. And now here's where I tie it to Absolute Comics. Absolute Comics is where Darkseid, somehow absorbing the meta energy from the Blibbityverse, creates a bunch of alternate universes where everything's edgy and dark, and Batman is a working man and has whip wings. Wonder Woman is an archaeologist. And Superman, weirdly enough, looks more like New 52 John Kent, which is honestly what I thought he was going to be. And that meant that John Kent was actually going to get some goddamn character development for once, but I guess not. Oof. Yeah, but I bring that up because, that's kind of what I thought Dark Crisis Young Justice should have done. Made, a bunch of different universes for each... Yeah, for each member of Young Justice. Don't make them, just some toxic fan. Make them a toxic fan who wanted, different stories for each of them. And actually, it's kind of weird how the villain claimed to be a huge fan of Young Justice. A hardcore toxic fan of Young Justice, but didn't do two things. One, didn't try to pair Tim and Connor together. Seriously? Really? No. He tried to get Connor back with Cassie, kinda. And two, didn't try to get Sissy back to being Arrowette. Let's get real here. A lot of fans just wish her to be a superhero again, and ignore the fact that her quitting superheroism went against her character arc. It was part of her character, and if she would just go back to it, would be going against her character arc. Yeah. Should probably rename this Drinks with Mick. Still keep the episode count, but yeah. Yeah. I'll rename it Drinks with Mick until I can drink whiskey again. Post-viral cough. Itches my throat. Yeah. But, yeah, Absolute Comics. I don't know if that'll be good or not, but the setting is what I hoped Dark Crisis Young Justice was gonna be, and it just ended up falling flat. And what sucks about it is, I agree with some of the messages in that series, but the execution was just awful and vaguely mean-spirited. Yeah. I'm not even sure if Megan was a fan of the original comics, and, this was something like the Flintstones, something that has been lampooned for years, and no one really wanted a Flintstone comic. I can kind of get why they made a sort of postmodern take on it a few years back. Was it a decade back? Almost a decade back. The Young Justice, though, people want an honest, sincere continuation. And the only way you can make it way more different if you specify if it's an Elseworld or that they were sent to alternate universes. But she didn't. And it remains a weird mark on the history of Young Justice. And probably the second worst, and is somehow worse than Bendis's. Because at least Bendis's run was just boring. This was just bad. Ugh. Also, no jokes about the Drake costume. Come on. Seriously? Ugh. Ah, well. I really hope they do something with the concept of Young Justice in the future, as well as the Teen Titans, but they don't really seem to be doing much with that. It's weird. Maybe Young Justice, say with Mr. Terrific's kids and everything, but I don't know. I do not know. But, there's always room for Blue Lantern energy. There's always room for Blue Lantern energy. With that, like, comment, and subscribe. Donate if you're feeling nice. Share it with a bear. And always remember, praise be to the Blood Elk, fear the Stapopotamus, and death to Kronos. I had some manicotti for dinner. It's pretty much lasagna. It's lasagna-esque. It's similar. Yes. Have a night.